So welcome everyone to this longest day of the year, the midwinter practice, 21st of December, so the longest night into the shortest day. So we're going to just spend some time doing a very restorative practice tonight. If you're watching this on catch-up, you've got a chance to pause now and go and get some pillows and things. So as many pillows, cushions as you like, have them to hand, because we're going to prop ourselves into poses. And versus our normal practice, this is where, rather than resisting and pushing against the floor or pushing against gravity or stretching ourselves into poses, we're going to rest in poses and prop ourselves. So it's going to be a very relaxing restorative practice to just, you know, maintain the energy for the long nights ahead. Just turn this down a shade. Go. So first of all, then we're just going to bring ourselves onto our backs. You don't have to have anything ready, and you can keep your socks on for the moment. Only take them off if you feel that you need to get a little bit of grip through the mat. So if you get yourself relaxed down with your legs bent, take your feet wide and just bring your knees in towards each other. So they're like a little tent, a little triangle. Open up the palms and float the arms away from the sides. And just check you've got that space beneath your lower spine and beneath the neck. Move the shoulders around a little bit and get yourself settled. Just resting here for a moment. Just watching your breath and moving the breath in and out of the body quite slowly, without force. Then you're going to just separate those knees and bring the feet flat to the floor again and the thighs parallel. This time, keep those feet now turned slightly out, toes out and feet wide, and then lower your knees over to one side. And again, if you want to rest here with something propped underneath your thigh that's nearest the floor, just pop your cushion underneath your legs and rest there. So you can just let yourself go into the pose, breathing here. If you'd like to, you can turn your head away from the pit, the way the knees are pointing, and breathe here. So on an in-breath, turn your head back to center. Draw your bandas in a little bit to just help lift those legs off the prop. And then swap that prop over to the other side if you're using it. And lower your knees over to the other side. Relax yourself into it. And if you're comfy, turn your head away from the way the knees are pointing. And breathe. Turn your head back to center on an in-breath. Draw those bandas in and lift those knees up. Just walk those feet a little bit closer together. Just going to gather our right knee in just to check in with that hip, that bottom, and that side of the back. Just move around a little bit in half apanasana, just bringing that knee to chest on one side. Move around a bit if it's comfortable. Slowing that breath down. You feel that that hip has started to release. You can draw the other knee into the chest. moving around a bit if it's comfortable, just getting a sense of how those hips are feeling, and all the way through the sit bones into the lower back. Lovely. So this time we can stay lying down. I'm going to separate and place those feet on the floor again. And this time have a cushion or a pillow or a couple of cushions, couple of pillows ready on your left side. So just pop them over to the side, ready to stick underneath your legs. And this time, instead of the windscreen wipers, we're going to take one leg over the other. So we're going to stretch the left leg straight. We're going to take the right leg up and across and place the foot the other side of the thigh. And then as you gently push into your right arm or your right hand and you roll over and push your dog out of the way, you get the cushions underneath that knee. So you can rest that thigh down, turn yourself over completely onto your left side. And then when you're ready, you can always prop a pillow under your head as well if that's comfortable. And then breathe out, turn yourself away. So, and again here, you can place another cushion under your head and under your right shoulder. If you put it on the diagonal, you can have head and shoulder on this, and you can just rest in a supported twist position. So don't be afraid to just make adjustments with your cushions to get yourself really comfy. And we'll stay here for quite a few breaths. If it's uncomfortable on the elbow or the head, then feel free to make an adjustment. Keeping that awareness on the breath, feeling back into the body if your mind has wandered. Just get a sense of how your body is feeling supported in this pose. Turn your right hand and the head back over to the left. And then you can release that right leg from its little support and roll yourself over. Change your cushions over to the other side. Changing the angle maybe of the cushion onto your head and shoulder over to the left side. And then this time with the right leg straight, the left leg bent. Taking the left leg up and over, rolling over onto your right hand side and making those adjustments of cushions so that left leg is supported. Hands together, facing to the right now, and then breathing out. You can take your left arm up and over, resting your shoulder and your head on the pillow, if that's comfy, and stretching away. Breathing here, feel supported and make your adjustments to get yourself fully settled. Slowing down the breath, setting and settling. Particularly trying to let the weight of that left leg sink into the cushion And just notice if you're holding on or gripping anywhere, or any part of the body is just overly active. Breathe into it. Focusing in on the breath. Focusing in on the body and how it feels, settling. Bringing your mind back, maybe if it went wandering. And on an in-breath, just going to bring your left hand back up and over. Bring your right head, turn to the right. And bring the hands back together. And then you can take your left leg out and away. Lovely. So now we're just going to bring ourselves into a kneeling position. If you want to pad up your knees, you can, but there won't be a huge amount of weight going through them. We're just going to make sure we've got our cushions and pillows and everything ready to stick underneath bits of the body that need extra support. So to arrange ourselves here, padding up the knees towards the back of the mat. If you want to roll up a blanket or place a cushion underneath your ankles for support, then feel free. Make sure you're nice and comfy from the tips of the toes to the knee joints. And then we're going to bring as many cushions, pillows, or a combination of those things into an alignment with your mat in front of you. And you're going to bring those towards the knees, or maybe up even onto the knees. Okay, so that when you then lift up off the sitting position, it'd be out of the way, right in the way there. Okay, that's better. You can see now. So into the belly, you're going to roll over. So your bum is in the air and your head is slightly below your heart. And you're supported here. If you feel that you're on too much of an angle and the blood is rushing to the head, then you can always prop yourself up a little bit more, either through hands or just an extra cushion at the front of the pillows, so you can just rest yourself. And you should feel that your body weight is sort of being drawn forward, so you can relax into the pose and just settle. If you need to widen the knees for extra stretch or openness through the sit bones, then do. So this is just a preparatory pose, turning the head whichever way suits you. Just starting to get a slight angle through the circulatory system. If you've turned your head one way, then you can take your time and turn your head to the other way, if that's comfortable, and rest here. Again, feeling that you're just being drawn down towards where your hands are. Staying with the body and with the breath as best you can. And if nothing else, noticing when your mind has started to wander. Gently place your hands back onto the floor, push yourself up off your prop, and we're just going to change our position now. And so it doesn't really matter how high this prop is. Some people use a bolster for this one, which are the big, long, heavy, cylindrical items. Slightly tougher than a set of pillows. So this time we're going to turn onto our sitting position. So we're going to sit with our knees out to the left side, roughly close-ish, nice and comfy. Pop a cushion underneath your bottom if you prefer. So you're now sort of facing the left-hand side of the mat and your legs are curled up as best you can. And then as we push our hands into the squishy pillows, we're going to stretch up and lengthen, turn our chest towards those cushions and sort of walk ourselves down into a comfortable supported twist. If you can turn the head away from the knees, then do. If not, turn your head towards the knees. So you're in a supported twist here. And if it feels too much on the lower back or into the hip, you can always prop a cushion between your knees. Resting here. Focusing in on the breath, making any final adjustments. And then letting go. Actually bringing your awareness back to your breath and to your body. In readiness for changing your position to the other side. So moving slowly, moving carefully. Just going to walk yourself back up, listening to that lower back all the time. And change your position. So just moving yourself through to the other side. So this time with your knees facing over to the right hand side of the mat, getting yourself as close to those cushions as comfy, getting other props ready if you think you need them, and then placing your hands on the cushions, turning in towards your prop and just walking yourself down so that you can rest your chest and either turn away from the knees or turn the head towards the knees if that's more comfortable. And if it's feeling tight through the lower back and the hip, maybe a cushion between the knees. Breathing here and settling.
Your awareness back to the breath and back to the body. Preparing yourself to move. Pressing your hands either side of the cushions. And lift yourself up carefully, listening to the back all the while. And release yourself out. So moving the cushions out of the way now. Going to get ourselves ready to lie down on the mat. So our supported pose here. We're going to get a little bit of make a little nest for ourselves. So we're going to have at least one cushion, which is going to be one pillow rather, which is going to be behind you, possibly two. You want to have an extra pillow ready at the top for your head to just prop it up a little bit further. That might work. And then maybe a couple of cushions ready to go underneath your knees. So we might take those out to either side. We're going to prop ourselves in a lying konasana. So with our bottom close to the pillows, going to lie ourselves back, arrange our little prop underneath our head. If you want to go even higher, you can. You can bring other things underneath your head so you feel a little bit more upright. Then bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out to the side, and as many cushions underneath your knees or your thighs as is comfortable. Let your arms rest where feels comfortable. Some people like to place them on their belly. Some people place them out to the side with the palms uppermost. Or even if you're particularly low, rather than fully propped, some people stretch their arms up over the head and place their hands behind their head. Have a listen to how your back feels there though, and your shoulders. We don't want to introduce any strain or tension. We're trying to let it dissipate. So feel where's most comfortable for you. Make your final adjustments and get yourself settled. Let the body go here. It should be comfortable enough so that the whole body can relax and rest. Noticing if your mind has started to wander. Bringing the focus back to the body and back to the breath. And then for our final pose, which is going to lead into Shavasana, carefully just bring your awareness back to the room. We're just going to turn ourselves round on the mat. So you might want to place the cushions that were underneath your legs up towards the foot end of your mat. And we're just going to move around. Repeat over there, please. And we're just going to prop ourselves underneath our pelvis. So we have an arrangement of items just to allow ourselves to rest in a slightly supported bridge. So it's up to you how high you make this little tower to place your bottom on. So you're lifting your legs up over the pillow. Lifting the cushions up underneath where feels comfortable. Making sure that you've got that openness, and you can place either the feet on the floor and the knees towards each other, or you can prop yourself up a little bit more with the feet and place feet away. Place your feet on something back in the Baddha Konasana position with the arms out to the side. Just checking in that it doesn't feel like the blood is rushing to the head too much, and the cushions are under the shoulders, the neck and the head. And the bigger pile of pillows is underneath your pelvis. Make your adjustments. And settle into this supported, very light inversion. From this pose, we're going to melt into Shavasana.
So as the music fades away, I'm just going to leave you to your own Shavasana. You can stay in the position that you've assumed for the slight inversion rest. And namaste, and enjoy your Shavasana, and Merry Christmas.